Harmer, looking wryly at you.
I see a lot of older Australians here tonight in the audience, and they must be looking at us right now and thinking, what the hell happened? How come this country, the richest country, one of the richest countries on earth with this amazing population, cannot afford to pay for education, for health, for penalty rates, for all the necessities of life? Where the hell did we go wrong? Now, to me, it's about that we've sold off the farm, we've privatised everything, we've let the free marketeers in, we've jacked up the prices, and now you're going to tell us how much tax we're going to pay, and you're going to come back with a begging bowl over and over again.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
While Paul Hogan was brandishing his Crocodile Dundee knife, the other Paul began wielding a giant razor.
The cabinet was fantastic. You know, we sat through these long ERC rounds, people like Peter Walsh, John Dawkins, you know, Gareth Evans and John Button. The cabinet pulled together and we made these huge cuts.
Look, it always hurts you in a sense when you know you've got to do something which is going to disadvantage some people who shouldn't be disadvantaged.
The government also targeted its own assets, like the Commonwealth Bank.
The Commonwealth Bank has cemented its position as Australia's biggest, posting a record profit of $9.1 billion in the last financial year.
Telecom and Qantas beginning their march towards privatisation.
Well, the Qantas Chief Executive Alan Joyce is headed for a showdown with unions tomorrow morning over his plan to cut 5,000 jobs, about 15% of the airline's workforce.
Telecom and Qantas.
Where the hell did we go wrong?
Telstra says it will cut about 650 jobs to make its customer service operation more efficient.
This was tough stuff for the Labor movement. This was tough stuff for the Australian community, which wasn't used to a lot of its icons being tackled in this way. But it's something we had to do to change the sclerotic nature still of a lot of the Australian economy. We did it, and this was a very important period in that business of getting the Australian economy modernised.
When Keating started selling off our public assets and deregulating banking, Australia's poverty rate was 11.3%. Of that figure, 14.3% were children. After 25 years of these economic reforms, Australia now has 13.9% living in poverty, 17.7% being children. The fact is, our poverty rate is now worse than when he started.
Wendy Harmer, looking wryly at you.
I see a lot of older Australians here tonight in the audience, and they must be looking at us right now and thinking, what the hell happened?
It is very important to unclog the arteries of the Australian financial system. We've had a very stifled, uncompetitive or non-competitive environment in banking. We've had 4 major banks and a handful of state banks dominating the whole banking community of Australia.
Where the hell did we go wrong?
He said this move will bring benefits to the customers and ultimately to the banks themselves.
I mean, the fact is, if you go into an Australian bank, you walk in as a mendicant. You walk in hoping the bank will do something for you. If you go into any other country, you walk in as a customer. They're glad to see you. Now, that's going to change. That's what's going to happen in Australia. Because when we see these foreign banks operate here, the competition will liven our banks up. And the fact that they thought there was perhaps, an easy road to profits and to earnings by not competing with one another too vigorously with services, well, all that, I'm pleased to say, is coming to an abrupt end.
Now, to me, it's about that we've sold off the farm, we've privatised everything, we've let the free marketeers in, we've jacked up the prices, and now you're going to tell us how much tax we're going to pay, and you're going to come back with a begging bowl over and over again.
You have a real intense interest about deregulation, about red tape, and I know that in the past you've pulled me into gear.